is Magali and this is my sketchbook. I thought I would give you a little tour today because a few days ago I finished a sketchbook and I actually quite like it, so yeah, I hope you'll enjoy me talking through it. It's going to be probably a very long and rambly video, but you can just pop me in the background while you're painting or sketching to keep you company. Just to give you some context, I study illustration at the University of Applied Sciences in Lucerne, but I'm currently in Edinburgh for a semester abroad at the University of Edinburgh. So I started this sketchbook and finished it in Edinburgh, so you're going to be seeing a lot of things relating to that in here. So the sketchbook that I use is by a small business called Odd Orange. They do like hand-bound sketchbooks in England, and I actually really enjoyed working in this sketchbook. It's A5. It used to be, the color used to be nicer. I should have taken more care of it. I always get everything so dirty. But the paper is just lovely. I think it's the thing that makes me love this sketchbook is the paper, because it takes every medium that I use really well. Yeah, but you'll see it when I show you inside. Yeah, so I already ordered another sketchbook by Odd Orange that is hopefully going to arrive today or tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. Always put down the date where I started and finished a sketchbook. Oh, this is the one that I use. It's called Indian Yellow. A5 cloth bound sketchbook. First page, always put down my name and address in case it gets lost. Also love gluing in little pieces like of scraps of paper or tickets. Here's a quick pencil sketch of me drawing. I feel like that's probably what you're gonna see here the most, if I'm being honest. I just always draw myself, which is maybe weird, but I just don't have to think about it, and it comes easy to me, so that's what I do. This is a sketch I did from a picture I took when I was on holiday in the Lake District. This sketch is actually one of my favorites in the sketchbook, and I don't really know why. I didn't think about it. I don't know what it is. I just really like it. I used like ink and dip pen for this one. Here I went to the National Museum of Scotland and just drew some of the things that I saw, like a motorcycle and a plate. Then some random character sketches. And here I did some sketches of my classmates during a workshop. They're both illustrators as well, so I will leave their Instagram somewhere here if you want to check them out. This is, I think, still on the same day when I was in the National Museum. I wanted to practice drawing people moving, which is so difficult. People move so fast, especially children. You only have like 30 seconds or something to get their posture down. So that's what I was trying to do here. When I'm drawing on location, I really like to only bring a few limited drawing supplies, because that's like one less thing to think or worry about. And I think on this day, I just bought some new colored pencils, so I only brought those. On this page, I was doing some sketches for a uni project I was working on. We were asked to do a label for a gin company, like create a gin company and do like the branding or packaging for it. And these were my sketches. I can also pop on the final piece, like on screen. Like I did these drawings with dip pen and colored ink. I really like the brand that I use. They make super vibrant colors, and I love using them with a dip pen, but also just like watercolor with a brush. I think the colors are just so nice. And I tried to do like different kinds of hand lettering. I wrote a blog post about creating a children's book cover, and I always like to handwrite the title, so these are some drawings for that blog post. Then here's just some picture books, I think, that we looked at during class, and a random drawing of a cottage. This was actually really fun to do. I bought this postcard in the National Gallery. It's a painting by John Singer Sargent. And then I decided to just draw it, do little kind of master study, but also I wasn't I wasn't focusing on it being accurate or anything. It was just fun little painting I did. I hate how the face turned out. I think I redrew this or painted over it several times, but I just don't like it. I think it really doesn't go with the rest of the painting, like a different style doesn't work. This is one of the bookshops here in Edinburgh that I really like, and I cut apart this bookmark, stuck it in random piece of paper. A quote from Emma, I think. So I probably watched this movie whilst I was painting. Yeah. Then me and my friend went to Lauriston Castle, which is a castle or manor quite close to Edinburgh. So I drew this there, which was really fun. I sometimes have to force myself to draw when I'm out, but when I do, I always love looking back on the drawings. This is a statue that I saw in a little pond. They had some flowers. The castle from a different perspective, my friend. For all the drawings I do in pencil, I use, this one is from Muji, just mechanical pencil, but then I like to exchange the lead for a 2B lead, so a softer lead, because yeah, that makes the pencil lines much darker, which I prefer. This was for the book cover that I talked about earlier that I made. Here I was, I think, reading the book and taking notes, so drew some first sketches of the characters. And what is the novel about? It's called A Murder Most Unladylike. It's like a middle grade detective book. This was for the Penguin Cover Awards, which I in the end wasn't able to participate in because I hadn't lived in the UK for long enough, but I made the book cover and I'm super proud of it. So that was a good exercise, but I'm still a bit sad that I wasn't able to actually compete. So here's some sketches for the series logo, sketch of the characters, a first idea for what I wanted the cover to look like, which in the end is actually turned out quite similar to this first sketch. I made some other sketches in another sketchbook, but we have doodles from class, experiments to play with negative space. These were done in gouache. Then here I drew a statue, probably referenced it from Pinterest. I laid down the basic shape in gouache and then painted over it with pencil. And you always see me just writing down notes from most of the time during class or talks that I attend. Oh, this was one of the first sunny days we had, where it was warm enough to really go outside. And I sat in the Meadows, which is a park close to where I live, and just painted the scenery. I used gouache, some colored pencil, I think. Yeah, some colored pencil, but mainly gouache. Yeah, that was really fun to do. On this day, me and some of my classmates went to Princess Street Gardens to do some observational drawing. I actually really like how this drawing turned out. It's then negative space again. I don't know if you can see that or if it's too abstract, but it's a bench, which is the white part, and then a guy sitting on the bench with the shadows. I don't know. Trees, people. I think I colored in these squash bits when I got home, just so that there's a bit more color on the page. Yeah. Oh, here's some more drawings I did on that day. I really like this one. I might turn this into a bigger illustration. Those were just two cute people lying in the grass in the sun. Some more notes about portfolios. Don't know where those were from, probably from class as well. My hand. You can see me drawing in class again. For all of those drawings, Like this one here as well. I use emoji pen, just black pens. They just do the best pens in my opinion. And I don't really mind the perspective being true or anything, just capture the scene. These paintings were done during a Odd Orange drawing session. I think this might actually be the first, or was it the second one that I attended? Odd Orange is the brand that makes these sketchbooks, and their founder Morgan, she does like monthly drawing sessions where we draw from reference images on Zoom, which is really fun and like a good practice to just get loose and draw without pressure. These ones were challenging. I really don't like how any of these turned out. I was planning to stick a paper over it so I don't have to see them, but like now that I look back on it, they're not too bad, but not too happy with how those turned out. Person and a chair. You can see that I really got into negative space paintings. I think I don't know, I just think they look cool. So I've been incorporating that a bit more with my art. Here we have the cover illustration for my blog post, which you can read if you're interested. It's on working on the book cover that I've mentioned a couple times now. This was fun. This was also for another uni project. So the project was about a musical poster based on a Celtic fairy tale. This is why I researched the Celts. I went to the library and actually found quite a lot of books on how to do Celtic knotwork, which was really fun, but actually super complicated. This one is like the most simple one that I found. All the other ones were like, wow, impressive. But yeah, so I did some research and did some drawings. This is the first sketch for the character that I was gonna have on the poster. Here I stuck in a business card from one of my classmates. It's a sketch from the Meadows. Here I was just feeling like doing some paintings, I think in the evening. Just chill, no pressure paintings. This one, for this one I referenced a picture I took a couple of years ago when I was in the Lake District with my family. And for this one I think I just took a reference from Pinterest. I don't really remember, but those were both just done in gouache. Oh, this was actually so nice. I went to St. Cecilia's Hall, which is like a musical instrument museum, to do some research and sketching for the Celtic project I mentioned earlier. And when I arrived, there were those 4 guys just playing classical music. I think it was like a sort of practice session, but just in the museum. So I asked them if they would mind if I just sat there and sketched them for a little while, and they didn't. So that's what I did. And I actually really like how the sketch turned out. It took me maybe around 45 minutes, I'd say. And normally I'm not that good at drawing people when I know that they're going to look at it afterwards and they expect it to really look like them. But here I think it worked out quite well, and I like it. That was fun. That was really fun to do. And I'm glad that I forced myself to go up to them and ask if I could sketch them, because normally I'm too scared to ask people that and I just don't draw them, and then I regret it afterwards, so I'm glad that I did that. This is one of those pages that just happen. In my sketchbooks I always have like 1 or 2 double pages that I just use to take notes, because I have my sketchbook with me everywhere. So I don't know what that was about, like some uni project website, making websites. This one is from Rebecca Green's Patreon. She did a post on portfolio advice, which I found really helpful, so I took some notes on that. This is a sketch from a video that I watched by Mike Dutton. He does those videos where he goes on bike rides and brings his easel and paint, and he's a great landscape painter and I love his videos. So this next page is from a drawing trip I took to St. Andrews, which is like a coastal town. Sketched the harbour. I hate how this turned out. I really hate it. I don't know why. The colours bad, composition not great, individual things I drew not nice either. So I redrew a similar scene a couple pages later, I think. Here's another sunny day in the Meadows, where I just drew other people. My classmate Zoe, she wore such nice pants that day, so I just had to draw them. Here I started planning for a zine that I'm working on. I just see it says I need a color scheme. I did not use a color scheme. Oops. Stuck in a little time plan that I probably looked at once. These are some more sketches from St. Andrews. Yeah, but here I was just brainstorming like places I wanted to draw. The scene is about my time in Edinburgh, like different ideas I had. Yeah, but you'll see more of that later in the sketchbook. Here's the other, here is the other scene of St. Andrews, which I like a lot more. I'm not sure if it will make it in my zine though. I don't know, it's okay. Here I painted some of the supplies I like to take when I'm drawing. Water bottle, pencil case, palette, paint, snacks, always important. My sketchbook, a book, and all in my tote bag. Then here I went to Grassmarket, which is like a historical marketplace here in town. I think I started with this drawing, which I did with ink, but I wasn't really sure how much I liked it, so then I painted the same scenery again, but with pencil. A business card from Amy Moss, which I met at the scene fair. This day I met up with LMA and we went to Dean Village, sat on one of the bridges and painted the houses and environment, and this is her. So yeah, you can see whenever, or most of the time when I draw on location, I just use pencil because it's the easiest, I think. And then sometimes I transfer those sketches, or I look at the sketches as a reference and then do a painting. But oftentimes I just do quick sketches on location with pencil. This is gouache, just a landscape of Holyrood Park, which is like where I like to go for runs. And there's this lake and the light always reflects so beautifully on it. I always like to just add flowers if I don't know what else to draw. Here I wrote spring has sprung, and there you can see two different kinds of people, because there's always like, as soon as the weather gets warm, there's the people who walk around almost naked, and then there's the people who are still in their winter clothes, which is kind of funny. I hate this page. It's one of my least favorites. I wanted to draw some more things for my Edinburgh zine, and I drew the Milkman Cafe. I did this on location too, I think, these drawings. Some people that were sitting there, standing there, another building. I don't know why it just doesn't look nice. I don't think I'm using any of those drawings in my zine. Yeah, here I did a random, I don't know, stuck in something so that you don't see as much of this painting. I mean, it's not horrible, but I don't know, just don't like it that much. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of like Edinburgh sketches. This is in Neil's yard, park, garden, something, where I went to, and there was this really cute church that I drew. Can you tell? At the beginning I didn't like any of the sketches that I made. I don't like this drawing either. Not going in my zine. Yeah, but it's good. It's good that I went out there and tried to do it, did it. Here I went to Portobello Beach, sketched some of the people that were eating at the cafe there. I love putting in, I just love business cards, like illustrated business cards, they're so fun. These two drawings I made when I came back home from this drawing trip, and yeah, just gouache. This is reference this one from a picture I took on the trip, and this is just me sitting at my desk in Edinburgh looking out of the window. Here there's some other lettering that I did for my zine and then scanned in. This is a random drawing that I did very recently. I think I saw an illustration by Rebecca Green, which I really liked, and I had that in mind when I drew this, so it might be very similar to hers. I really like this one. This is a cider, and I really like the branding and the like gold leaf. So I peeled it off the bottle and stuck it in my sketchbook, because that's what you do. Here we get into my zine. Yeah, so after I did all those previous sketches, and I didn't really like any of them, but I wanted to turn them into a zine, I decided that maybe the way to go is to just paint the whole scene page in my sketchbook, because layouting when I'm drawing comes quite easily to me, and I like how my sketchbook pages look. But when I take single sketches or paintings that I made and try to put them together like on InDesign or something, I just think it looks crap. So I started to do the layout and writing and stuff all in as is. I hope you understand what I mean, and I really like this approach, and it was so fun to do. This was about the trip to Cramond and Lauriston Castle. Those drawings, where are they? These drawings are from. So I turned this one into this page. This is about an afternoon that I went to Stockbridge, which is one of my favorite parts of Edinburgh. So I drew myself. Also the botanical garden is there. And then here I painted some of the flowers I bought. Then I drew myself once again. Surprise. This is me coming back from the organic store, and that girl complimented my trousers, which was really nice. Random flowers, portrait with ink. Again, isn't that? I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but the colors are so nice of this ink. Crush painting. Those are two sketches from the Odd Orange drawing session again. This time it was on focusing on people. And I don't remember how much time we had for these, maybe 5 minutes for each one. These are some of the other sketches, so this was 5 minutes. I just used colored pencil for these two, and then gouache with this one. This was 10 minutes. Yeah, and this, oh no, it's not the last page, this one is. This is another page for my zine, which I did on my favorite bookshops in Edinburgh. Yeah, these paintings were based on sketches that I made when I went to the bookstores, actually. I'll try to see if I can find the little sketchbook that I made those in. I took this sketchbook with me, which is a bit smaller, and I just did some very quick sketches in there. So this is the sketch on location and the painting. This one is Till's bookshop, and then we have Topping Company booksellers. So this is the sketch that I made while I was there, and then I turned it into this gouache painting. yeah, and I think this is my last page. Yes, it is. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. Yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and if you have any questions or want to know anything, just leave them down in the comments. Bye!